All right. Hello. It's Press Play Action 31 nights. Sorry, I added 8 more days to Halloween.
We should add 8 more
as we
movies.
all
What are we
know,
doing here?
we all celebrate Halloween on October 39th. But yes, Mitchell Lee, Tommy Grant, Brandon too.
Great, Mitchell. You're
It's
doing,
time.
You're
I'm
doing
doing a
awesome.
great job at this so far.
This is what happens when we start this late at night.
Yeah, keep it up, Mitchell.
Yeah. After an exciting football game where Aaron Rodgers loses like a bitch, it's time to talk about horror movies. And what better horror movie to start with than The Devil Inside?
Oh, I was gonna say, can we start with The Innocents?
Did
But
it
that's
hurt
fine.
you to give that statement right there? Because
You know what?
I could
that-
hear the pain in your voice.
Should we
Let's
save The
start-
Devil Inside? Yeah.
Let's start with The Innocents and then go to The Devil Inside, because The Innocents, a movie that I'm going to be 100% honest, I saw about a week and a half ago, and I can't remember whether I finished it, whether I was bored out of my mind watching this thing.
Yeah.
So it was just, look how shitty kids are to each other. Like,
Bad draft pick,
I know.
honestly. The crazy
Your
thing
coworker-
is, like,
No, it's not a bad draft pick. Like
no, my
it
coworker
was.
didn't say it. I think critics like it.
Oh, I thought you had a coworker that recommended this to you.
No,
I
they
would say
recommended
I would
Hereditary.
advocate for his.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm that one's better. My thing is, like, we'll get to a horror movie that was truly trash. This was just kind of boring and long.
Yeah. And the kids were just assholes.
Yeah, like that one kid. I think his name was like Ben or Dave or something.
The fact
like
that he
that.
wanted to snap that kid's leg, I was like, "What are we doing?" I had
Yeah.
to take the headphones off and like not watch because I was like, "Oh no, he's about to Kevin Ware this kid's leg." I was like, "This is unreal." I was like, "What are we doing?"
I don't think I've ever heard it referred to as that, but you know what? That makes sense.
I mean, Tommy,
Yeah,
what did you think?
this is
we're
the movie I
we're
have by
jumping to,
far
like,
the least
honestly,
amount to say.
We're jumping to
but-
the most brutal scene in the movie. Well, I guess the most brutal scene is coming up, but we're jumping in like the middle of the movie. But to be fair, that's because it's a slow burn and it's very, very boring up until that point of the movie, which is kind of crazy.
yeah, it was a slow burn. It kind of felt. I'm trying to think of what to compare it to. But like,
Is
it
there a
almost,
comparison? I mean,
like what was the movie? I can't remember the name of the movie. Basically, the movie that inspired Eleven's character from Stranger Things. Basically, a kid with telekinetic powers,
yeah,
and it felt like that plus Lord of the Flies.
yeah.
Of just all the kids fucking gang up on each other and fighting each other, or just a really crappy like young X-Men movie. Like,
So I saw a letterbox review where someone was like, "These X-Men prequels are getting out of hand." I was like,
yeah,
Yeah, it felt to me like, have any of you seen the movie Chronicle?
yes,
It's
No,
like
but
Chronicle
yeah,
with
I've
younger
heard good things.
kids that are
Much
worse
younger kids,
actors and less interesting with more of a horror angle.
yeah,
yeah.
that's
So-
a good comparison.
And I guess let's jump to the most brutal scene, or two of the most brutal scenes. The one kid uses telekinesis to have the mom kill the daughter, like stab her in the back, which is
a
just
fucked
like,
up scene. That was like,
bro, why? What did she do to you? Like,
I knew from the beginning that Ben was gonna be a dick of a character,
right?
but when he makes Aisha's mom just kill her, I was like, you don't even have the balls to do it yourself. You're gonna make her mom kill her. Like, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
And then
Then he
I
tried
just
to
like
do
how-
it with
how
Anna and
I-
Ida's mom. He was like,
I was gonna say, I like how Ida just pushes him off a bridge like that. That was her way to defeat him. And like for someone with telekinetic powers, like couldn't he have like stopped that somehow or like pushed her away with his
I guess he
mind?
didn't die, so there's that.
Yeah, he
but-
broke his leg, but like before she pushed him, like he could like use his powers to like push her back or something. But
Yeah, Mitchell. Sorry, bad pick. Hand up. You admit mistakes. That was a mistake.
there's no such thing as mistakes in this 31 Nights of Horror. There are good horror
I
movies.
will
There are bad
say
horror movies. They're meant to be
this
watched.
is not
either way.
because this is a foreign Norwegian film and like is Norwegian with like English subtitles. That is not why
No.
we dislike the movie. The movie just doesn't build up until like 50 minutes left, and then it's like,
It has
now he actually has
balls
something
pacing.
Yeah, the pacing is
It's
just
about
wild.
an hour 50, hour 55, something like that. And sorry, hour 58.
Mhm.
And one of the things that a lot of these horror movies we're watching have in common is they're about hour and a half, hour 40. And there's a
Which I
reason for
am
that.
very, very thankful because
Exactly.
watching
With
them
all these movies to watch, I'm very happy to have
whenever
90
I see a 90-minute movie, I'm like, yes, I can watch this quickly.
Exactly. So I'll go ahead and give my grade on this. I gave this a C minus 12.37.
Okay. I mean, again,
I
not
could have
terrible.
gone lower, but at the same time, like, I didn't.
It was interesting a little bit.
Yeah, I thought the story at least was interesting, and for as many young actors as they depended on, they were pretty good.
Yeah,
I gave it a C 30.
okay.
Again, I enjoyed it. Like it had an interesting plot. It just the pacing sucked and the acting sucked, which really definitely held it down. Again, they're kid actors, so you can't really expect too much from that. But when the whole movie is just kid actors, you need something to really kind of hold it up. And even the horror aspect, there really wasn't much to horror. It was more of like a thriller.
Psychological thriller.
Yeah, psychological thriller is probably the best.
I think it counts in the category of horror, but it's loose.
I'm saying,
it's
but it's not like a
loose
straight horror movie. Like
the crazy thing is, if you look at some like list, like I think I got this off of like IMDb's like 200 best horror movies of all time. Like people like this movie, like which is just crazy to me. But here we are.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at fun facts for it, I mean, at the Cannes Festival in 2021 when they first dropped it,
Canes,
whatever the fuck it's called.
Canes.
Raising Canes.
Raising Canes Film Festival.
So when it was released at Cannes 2021 Festival, it was called one of the most chilling.
No, just kidding.
Shut up. One of the most chillingly original horror films of the decade. I disagree.
Yeah, I don't think it's like chillingly original. I just think it's like a certain point where you're like, damn, these kids suck. Like that's honestly how I feel about it.
And they're the part of what they raved about was like, how creepy and like, wow, like these child actors were great, and like, wow, the cruelty of like children is a crazy concept. It's like, no, children are fucking cruel. That like, that's nothing new.
They don't have moral compass.
There's no wow about that.
No.
Yeah, there's no moral compass involved yet. I'm gonna go C 5.0. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's a very mid movie.
And this also didn't get like any real release in the United States, so there's no box office to talk about. It also came out in 2021, so in the month of August. So
Mitchell, I pulled this off a list of
like
best horror movies. I'm telling you, people like this movie apparently.
Well, I am not those people, but I'm also not the people that liked the next movie we're going to talk about, that being The Devil Inside, a movie that for the longest time, for a good chunk of the 2010s, was my least favorite movie of all time. Now, will it remain there? We'll see. This was directed by William Brent Bell, and stars Fernanda Andretti, Simon Quarterman, and a bunch of other people that are probably working at H&R Block right now. It's got a budget of $1 million, and it made $101 million because I have a background for you.
They fudged the numbers.
No, legitimate. This movie came out on January 6th, 2012, and it was the movie that its marketing like the trailers were attached to Paranormal Activity 3, and the trailers
Of
got
course.
people really invested. Like people thought that they were going to see this found footage devil possession movie that was also taking place in the Vatican, and these priests were going to be
I'm gonna
doing these
watch
like
the trailer right
underground.
now. I'm gonna watch the trailer
Well,
right now.
maybe
you-
wait till we're done, but maybe wait till we're done recording. But yes, take a look at the trailer. And at the time, people were really excited for this movie. I wasn't one of them because even at 17, I can smell bullshit with my nose. And I remember I didn't go see this movie in theaters, but seemingly everyone I know went on opening night. I don't know why, but people my age were really excited to see The Devil Inside. And on Facebook, because remember, this was early 2012, and Facebook was the top means of communication.
Yes, it
Almost
was.
everyone I know was like, fuck this movie, worst movie I've ever seen, horrible ending, I want my money back. This movie got an F cinema score, which is incredibly rare. It made $33 million in North America on its opening weekend.
That's
And
way too
then
much.
it finished with $53 million. It had a 76% drop from weekend one to weekend two, which
Now,
I think set a record at the time as to how bad the drop for this thing was.
Now, obviously, this was a big movie that Paramount was trying to hype up, and it made 57 million. You said
It made
What
57
was it-
in,
what was
in
its-
North
what was it-
America,
what was its budget?
but
I'm very
it made
curious. Was it the
101
home-
overall, and it had a budget of $1 million. This was made by Paramount's, like, at the time, kind of like, I don't know, B tier production company, that being Paramount Insurge, but it was distributed by Paramount because they kind of went on the same type thing that Paranormal Activity was, where it's like, all right, we got this really low budget found footage movie, and we're going to release it, and it's going to become a phenomenon, but we're going to take advantage of the early parts of January. Now, the problem is that this movie is dog shit. However, now this movie takes place where there's a woman, and it starts off with the phone call that they kind of sold the movie on, where it's this woman calls 911, and she says that she's killed people, and she commits this murder during an exorcism, and you get this like awful news footage of people being like, yep, there's people dead over there, and there's people dead over there, and then it's years later, and the daughter's going to Rome trying to figure out what happened to her mom. She meets her mother, and we've got these rogue priests that are committing, or that are
You
doing
always
these
gotta have the rogue
exorcisms.
priest.
Yeah,
There's
the
no,
priests
there's
have
no
gone
good
rogue.
exorcism movie without a good rogue priest.
The main actress in this movie is terrible. I mean, all the actors in this movie are really bad, but she just had the same expression on her face the entire movie. It didn't matter what was going on.
She is the Timu version of what the fuck's her name? Kristen Stewart.
I was just gonna say, but in Twilight, because Kristen Stewart's actually a good actress if you see her in other stuff.
Yeah, she just
But
has no expression.
But in the Twilight movies, yeah, she's that's a great that's a great comparison. Now,
Thank you.
this movie's not the worst on my list anymore. It's not on the bottom because
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is this?
no. This is operating in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey territory, though. The first 2/3 of the movie I think are bad, but I don't think they're horrendously bad. I just think they're
No, it was just boring.
They're just
So after watching the
Yes.
trailer, they sold a bag of rocks as diamonds.
Oh, okay.
Whoever edited this trailer deserves fucking awards. This is
Whoever
like
edited the trailer deserves at least half of that money.
This is like the Lance Armstrong movie that Jesse Plemons is in, where the trailer for that is like so awesome, and I've heard the movie is like so bad. and it's
I didn't
like
even know that was a thing.
the trailer won awards. Like that's how good the trailer is, and people are like, "Oh, the movie sucks."
And
And
the
it's
movie
just
didn't win
like,
awards.
yeah, the movie didn't win awards, and it's just
I
like,
mean,
this is what happened.
the
This is
play
what
on the
happened,
found
Tommy.
footage concept
Oh, it was brilliant,
was great because I mean,
At the
found
especially if
time,
you're
footage
it was
going to
was
see
huge.
so,
Paranormal Activity 3. You're like,
well, I
oh
mean,
shit,
the whole found footage was big in the early 2000s because you had the Blair Witch Project in the 90s that kind of kicked it off, and then Paranormal Activity really crushed it with the first three movies.
yeah.
That when you have a new trailer like this come out, then yeah, everybody's going to be excited for it. So the trailer,
It's
I'm
not
sure,
the
was very
same
easy to make.
movie though.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
Well,
not
they
the same
sold it.
night and
quality.
day.
They sold it on 3 scenes. They sold it on the phone call. They sold it on the scene in the hospital where she's talking, the whole like connect the cuts scene.
And then the
And they sold
exorcism.
it on the exorcism, which was probably my favorite scene in the movie.
It was actually really well done.
I actually thought that scene was decent, and
Yeah.
despite being kind of cliche, like the found footage nature of things added just the way that they shot that. It felt, now there are some things like blood splatters on the camera where I noticed that it's the exact same blood splatters in the exact same places every time that they
that
do
would be
it.
something Mitchell would notice. Yes.
And
yes.
so I can't even take credit for that. I was watching a YouTube video that noticed it,
Oh.
and I was like, I thought I saw that correctly. I
That's
thought
like
that was lazy.
We'll get to this movie eventually, but that's what, like the brilliance of the Departed, where like every single character that dies has an X show up on them at some point in the movie, and it's
Mhm.
it's like obviously continuity. They didn't think about the blood splatter being like, yeah, you know what I mean.
But
Like, they
that's
just didn't think about it.
also Martin Scorsese,
Yeah,
and not we bought a blood splatter package, but we forgot to get a second one. Should we just put the blood splatter in different places, or do you think anyone will notice? You
and
know?
Mitchell, look, nowadays you can shoot movies off an iPhone 15, and you can make that shit look good. Like,
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I didn't really love
there was
28
a-
years later, but it looked great.
there was there was a movie. Remember the movie that was banked as like shot off an iPhone?
Unsane.
Yeah, Unsane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that movie. It's a great movie.
I wish they would have done that with this movie. It would have made it
Well, I
better.
don't think iPhones were quite in the same place that
I
they
know,
were
but
6 years later.
Someone
but,
needs to remake this movie, but with an iPhone and better.
I'm fine with this movie being left alone. But really, if you're talking about this movie, you're not here to talk about the way they shot
You're
it. You're here to
the
talk
last
about
4 minutes.
you're here to talk about the way this movie concludes, because
Yeah.
this movie
I almost don't
goes
even want to talk
to.
about how it concludes because
Oh no! Then let
you,
me get at
you
it.
even warned me, and I
It lived
watched
up
it
to
without
everything
even
Mitchell
that.
said. It lived up to everything Mitchell said.
This
It
this
lived
is a
up.
movie that I watched. I heard about how bad the ending was, and then I watched it and I went, "Wow, that didn't just live up to the hype. It exceeded it, because they do this thing that they've been leading up to the whole movie about transference, which they even talk about earlier in the movie, to the point where it's like it makes no sense how quickly these things happen, and it just things start flying off the rails way too quickly, and they get into this. Our main character Isabella gets possessed, and then she ends up possessing the guy that was recording the whole time, a character that has no point and purpose in the movie whatsoever, a completely useless character. But he's driving, and they've got all these different cameras installed in the cars, which also should have let you know that, hey, something big's gonna happen in the car, just so you know. But
When the guy
possessed.
unbuckled his seatbelt, I was
Yeah.
like, "It's yeah."
He gets possessed. He crashes the car, and we're like, all right, hey, what's gonna happen? Are they all dead? What's going on now? And then you get, for more information about this case, please go
biggest
to the
slap
Rossi
in the
Files.
The biggest
fucking
scam ever. The
You
biggest
get a
I'm
scam
web-
ever.
website
I'm
link.
glad that I had not seen or knew anything about this movie going into it, and just knowing your comment of the movie was a fucking terrible movie and a terrible ending, because I probably would not have watched it had I known that that was the ending.
By
Because
the
that
way,
was the
Tommy.
biggest slap in the
So
face.
true, so true.
Tommy, I want you to do me a favor. Go on your phone right now and type in therossifiles.com on your phone.
No.
And
I already fucking
No.
did that because
Oh,
you
yeah.
told me to do
Oh,
it
Yes,
last
you
time,
did.
and I did it after.
and what happened? The fucking website link doesn't work because they only paid for the web domain for 1 year. They made a movie where the conclusion of the movie could only be accessed.
How much is
for
it to
1
have a
year.
lifetime web domain? It can't be that much.
The movie made $101 million. Put some of that towards the ending of the damn movie. And by the way, one on the Wayback Machine found
What does
the
it say on the
website.
link? What does it say on the link?
Nothing. First of all, for more information on this case, this isn't based on a true story. This is some bullshit.
No, it's not.
This isn't based on anything.
Man,
But
they
also,
really were
one,
trying to make
that's not-
diamonds
that's
out of
not-
rocks here.
That's not how you end a movie. And the website is basically just stuff that you would watch or read before the movie. It's like character bios and like a synopsis of the movie. It's not even like, oh, this is
so
what
dumb.
happened.
I hate this idea so
It's
much.
such a horrendous. It has gone down in history as like the worst ending to a movie of all time. This was a movie
Yeah.
that was comfortably like riding that D+D borderline for the majority of the movie, because there's even a scene involving there's a scene involving a baptism that was kind of creepy. There was a scene involving
That whole
a-
sequence with the taller priest guy, starting from where
Mitchell.
he basically attempts to drown the baby, and then back at the house, hotel, wherever the hell they were staying. That whole sequence was freaky, but it also creeped me out and pissed me off because you have this guy that's clearly possessed. He goes upstairs, and then pitch black, and they're all trying to get to him. I'm like, no, fucking leave. Get the
He also wouldn't have
as
been
far
able
away
to
from there as
leave the
possible.
church and just walk home after that.
Yeah.
There's so many
would-
continuity like issues
Well,
and
the
just
police obviously show up
dumb
at the
shit.
place, but they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, don't go up there. He's not good." Like, yeah, no shit. Like, fucking let police go shoot
To
him.
Tommy's
Leave the building and go as far away as possible.
to Tommy's
Yeah.
point, the idea for the movie with the found footage is fine. It's a good concept of built around exorcisms and how the Catholic Church doesn't approve of it. Like that is actually a well thought out good concept.
Yeah.
The execution of this movie is bad. It is awful. Mitchell, I feel like whenever we bring up found footage, we should bring up like Cannibal Holocaust. You remember talking about that movie and being like, people basically, it got banned because people thought like it was like a found footage. It was done so well. It was like the first one that people thought it was like a real thing, and people like actually died, and they like made the actors like sign like NDAs and like stuff where they basically had to go like in hiding and like act like they were dead for like an X number of
Didn't
years.
the director get arrested or something?
Yeah, I think he got arrested for that. And it was like, it's like one of the most infamous like found footage things ever. And I think it like basically kicked off found footage stuff. But it's like that concept of found footage, the Catholic Church and exorcisms is like, it actually like, it can work. It just doesn't work in this movie. It just doesn't work at all. And then they just do a poor job. Like, honestly, the exorcism is like the only good part. Yeah. I honestly stopped the movie for a second and I was like, am I watching the right movie? Like, I had to like question if I was watching the right movie at the very
Yeah,
beginning.
because there's a point where you're like, this isn't good,
Is this like a
but it's
documentary?
nowhere
I was
near
like,
as
what the-
bad as I've heard.
Yeah.
And then the ending is so bad that it goes from a movie that's on the D+D borderline to a movie I give an F 2.19.
Yeah, that's Winnie the
It's
Pooh blood
the
and honey
ending is
territory.
that bad.
I agree with that. I'm gonna give it F 2.0. We're in the same. We're in the same. ballpark.
Hey!
Like,
I
This movie-
gave
this
it
movie's
an
terrible.
F40. I was a little. I
that's.
gave it
I
a
mean,
little
that's
bit of
generous,
grace
but
because
40's bad.
It had a few decent scenes.
40,
So where
40's
were you
like
before I
back to the
started
strip,
wrapping up?
You know,
I want
40's
to
like-
know where were each of you guys before the final like 4 minutes?
I was still in enough territory because I was so pissed. I was like,
Oh
this,
damn! I'm
I was in the
surprised you
high
didn't go
F,
even
low
lower
D
than.
territory because I enjoyed
You guys
the
are high.
exorcism scenes and I enjoyed
I did like
I
the
enjoyed the
exorcism
end
scene, but it was the
sequence
only one I cared about. Sorry.
when the priest did the whole baby attempted to drown the baby and like the whole scene in the hotel room, like the footage
What
there,
was that scene? Oh my god.
like that was I enjoyed that from a horror perspective because the way they shot it, obviously with no lighting, you have the handheld, found footage type shot, so it's like you're constantly like moving around. It's just as chaotic. You feel the chaos because of how they shot it, and that part I kind of enjoyed. And then
The,
them realizing that he's possessed. So like
Tommy,
that scene I liked,
the
but
reason I want this to like be remade or just like rethought of is because I do think there's like 3 or 4 scenes in it where I'm like,
There's
you know
potential.
what?
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
potential. But it's an hour and 30 minutes and it's just straight bullshit outside of
yeah,
those 4 scenes.
yep. And the ending itself with basically the car crash,
The car
car
crash scene is
crash.
straight
You don't
bullshit.
see what happens to any of them. It just basically cuts to black, and it's like, what the fuck happened with them? Because obviously the devil doesn't want all of them to die because it needs to move on to somebody else.
Oh, that's a great point
So
that
it's like,
never
who
gets brought
lived?
up.
Yeah. I was gonna say this is the
Evil
lowest
Dead
ranked
did a better
movie
job.
that I've talked about that wasn't like a 2010 ranking. But then I remembered that we also talked about the Ice Cube War of the Worlds, and no, I have that lower. So
Yes.
Wow.
we are going to continue to go out of order a little bit, as the next 2 movies
Oh,
Go
are
ahead.
Jordan Peele movies. So we'll talk about the one that came out first and kind of started the Jordan Peele hype, that being Get Out. Obviously written and directed by Jordan Peele, came out in February 24, or it came out February 24th, 2017. Obviously very, not that things have been turned down too much, but very politically heated times, ripe for a movie like this to come out. Directed by Daniel Kaluuya, or rather, starring Daniel Kaluuya. This was the big breakout for him. He got an Oscar nomination for this role. Also starring Allison Williams, Bradley Whitford, Laurel Howery, Catherine Keener, and Caleb Landry Jones. This had a budget of $4.5 million. $255 million gross, and this became a bit of a phenomenon. This was, it made $176 million in North America, the 15th highest grossing movie of that year. Just edging out stuff like the Lego Batman and the Pirates of the Caribbean movie that came out that year. So this was a big deal, and Jordan Peele kind of became a house. I mean, everyone knew him from Key and Peele anyway,
Yeah.
but he became like a director to watch that sold movies based on this movie alone. It was nominated for Best Picture. Jordan Peele won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay.
Yes. And that was the first
So
horror movie to ever win an Oscar for screenplay. So that was kind
yeah,
of a
no,
big
he was
landmark.
nominated for Best Director. This movie was a really big deal, and I remember working at the theater when it came out and having no idea just how long we were going to have that movie in theaters for, because I remember people coming back to see it multiple times, and this is a fantastic movie. I absolutely love this movie, and so much of my love for this is because I think that this is by far Jordan Peele's best script.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think that the dialogue in this is funny when it needs to be funny. It's intense when it needs to be intense. I think that this is his best work as a script writer, and I think that Daniel Kaluuya, I think he gives a better performance in this than Gary Oldman did for Darkest Hour, and he's who won the Oscar. Now
Both good performances, but
I'd give the Oscar that year to my boy Timmy for Call Me by Your Name, but Daniel Kaluuya absolutely incredible here, and there's a reason why his career took off after this as well.
Yeah.
This is about a young black man who goes home with his white girlfriend to meet the to meet the parents, and you know exactly what's going to. This isn't a movie that someone would watch and go, "Oh my god, this was the most surprising thing." Like you know from the trailers and everything kind of what to expect. And I think the fact that this movie succeeds despite the fact that we kind of all know where it's going to an extent is a real credit to Jordan
There
Peele.
was a couple good twists in there that I was not expecting. Like the one
opening
thing that gave it
scene.
away for me was obviously the opening scene where we have, a black male that
Lakeith
is dumb.
Stanfield.
Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield like balls out in that in that scene.
Yeah.
And like the whole, he dies by basically being choked out in a headlock. And when he goes to dinner with his girlfriend and the brother shows up and tries to like play fight him, and she goes, "Oh, he was gonna put you in a chokehold." I'm like, "Motherfucker, that was him."
Yeah, same
That
guy.
was him.
Yeah. What's funny is when you first watch it, you're like, what kind of movie is this? You're like, damn, like this movie's about to get like real, and then it like jumps to like Daniel Kaluuya's character, and it's like, oh, like we're talking about race and like a black boyfriend and a white girlfriend, and like I don't know, it's very like I think honestly, I'm with Tommy. I think it's a killer opening. Like it, and then you see like the little callbacks, and you're like, oh my god, that's like what happened. And like to Mitchell's point, the script writing at that point just makes it like sick. But the
And
way it's like
it kinda
sequencing the
hits it on the nose,
callbacks,
too,
yeah, you know what I
when,
mean?
like the whole concept of, the title of Get Out. Obviously, it's meant for him to get out of the house, but it's like at the same time, the racial undertones of the whole first half of the movie, where you're like, I don't think they really want him there. And it's like, get out of my house kind of deal.
Oh my! I would have voted
You're
for
also
Obama
like, all
for
right, I'm waiting for these undertones to become overtones.
Yeah, like it was
honestly
it was,
the
the
undertones.
whole line was, I would have voted for Obama for a third term. Like, you're overcompensating so much. I'm like, no, you're a fucking racist. Like,
We
something
love
bad is
Tiger.
gonna
I'm like,
happen.
oh,
We
these are
all
such
know it.
great. I'm like, these are such great questions.
Oh yeah, once you
Like,
start
we
to
love
meet the
Tiger.
other members of the family, and it's like, oh, is it bigger? I hear they are better, and it's like, oh my god, like they're talking about him like, oh, this is some good stock here, not
Yeah.
oh,
And
how's
then,
your
Mitchell,
boyfriend?
to your point, they don't use any language, any quotes, no spoken word. They just have an auction, and you see his picture, and you're like, holy shit! They're like bidding
See
on.
that this is also where, and we'll talk about it with us, and I'm eventually when we talk about Nope at some point as well, where I don't know if this is Jordan. This is also a much lower budget movie than Jordan Peele's other movies, because this was his first one. He had to prove himself.
But
So as far as
it works as low
cinematography and the
budget
look
because
of
there
things,
isn't. It works as low budget because there's not a lot to do. You go to this mansion, and
yes,
you just kind of
but for that low budget, Peele does get a lot out of his visuals. Like, for example, the sunken place. And when he first goes to sunken place, like, I don't think that the
was
parents,
a really cool shot.
I don't think that the parents, Bradley Whitford and Catherine Keener, get enough credit for just how good they are in this and how chilling Catherine Keener is in that iconic scene where Daniel Kaluuya just motionless starts crying. Like that became, so much of this movie became iconic, and I think that Catherine Keener just doesn't get enough credit for how effortlessly chilling she is in that role, to the point where that sound of the spoon hitting the cup, I mean, you'll hear that. That's in Jordan Peele's production company, Monkey Paw Productions, has the cup and the
stirring of the
spoon.
cup,
yeah. So it's almost like a callback to an iconic moment from his first movie, because that scene is what I think of first and foremost when I think of this movie, when she says sink into the floor. That's the moment where it's just like, oh shit, things have turned now.
Yeah.
Like officially, we had our suspicions, but now it's in the zone.
The callbacks and just the stuff that happens, like Stephen Root's character Jim is like, "Oh, you have a great eye." Like that's why he wants it.
I need those eyes, man.
Yeah, I need those eyes. Like Caleb Landry, like the brother. It's like this guy's kind of a dick, but you
he
just
was
see
on
the
a tear in
undertones.
2017. You know what other movie
Yeah,
he was in, Brandon?
Oh
He was
God,
in
what
3
movie?
Billboards.
Oh yeah.
He was on
He's
a
so good.
roll that year.
Honestly, it's a toss up. I think he's better in 3 Billboards just because he has more to do. But
I think he is too. He's more to do.
Get Out is. I mean, he's really good. He's really good in this movie. And like you're like, wow, it's a little bit racist. Like it's just like you see the undertones.
It's a
You're
lot
like,
bit racist.
yeah,
Brandon.
you're like, damn, like the racism is real. But you're just wondering how it all connects, and then eventually Pill just like again just like throws it in your face at the end, and it's like, oh yeah, like these people are like in a cult basically. Like they are, yeah. It's just like, yeah. So I don't know.
What'd you guys think about Allison Williams in this one?
I liked her in this.
I liked her too. Yeah, I think you have to like her.
She did a great job at playing a con artist. A phenomenal job, because honestly, like
she was like the biggest gaslighter in the history of cinema.
well, yeah, like
it's just...
watching the movie, I truly didn't suspect her.
Right. When you first see the movie, you don't expect
scene with the keys. And I'm like, oh fuck, she's in on it too. Because like part of me was like, oh, maybe she doesn't know what her parents are actually doing, and it's just all
maybe
just a
she
weird
doesn't know all
coincidence.
these weird white people are racist as hell.
And like and part of me thought when he finds all the pictures of all her past like boyfriends and stuff, part of me was saying, I was like, oh, are they brainwashing her to bring people there?
Yeah,
and she doesn't realize that's what she's doing.
No,
that's what I originally thought until the scene where he's like asking for the keys. I was like, oh fuck, she's in on it.
It's a shoebox, right? When he pulls the shoebox out and looks at the photos, it's like, oh damn, it's like shit's about to get real.
And he suspects it too. He's just like not sure if she's in on it or not, and that's where I was too. I was like, I feel like they were brainwashing
I like her for most of the movie, but I don't like they do the same thing with her in this that they do with like every Scream villain. It's like once the mask is off, they act so radically different to the point where it's just jarring to me.
Let me flip
why
the
hell
here?
is she eating the fucking milk in the cereal? Like that just always bothered me for some reason. Like
it was.
Come on, I know that they're white people, but I've never met a single white person that actually fucking does that. Like,
wait, does what? Sorry.
Has the cereal and the milk, but she like drinks them separately. Like,
oh yeah, that's that. But again, to Jordan Peele's credit, I think that's showing psychotic behavior.
I mean, fair.
Would you agree? Would you agree?
That's very fair, but
that's showing you. That's showing you who she is without like telling you she's psychotic.
It's just fucking weird, man.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
I did like that she was already like looking for her next victim, though.
Yeah, she was. That's amazing. Like she's looking for the next person.
She's like, to quote Jay-Z, on to the next one.
Marcus Henderson and Lakeith Stanfield stand up. Like they give performances that I'm like, wow, these motherfuckers are brainwashed as fuck. I was like, this is not good. Great performances by them.
That's the first sign.
That was another part that after finishing the movie, I was like, I'm surprised I didn't pick up on it when the scene where Daniel Kaluuya's character is out at night and he sees, was it Walter?
Yeah, Walter's running right at him.
Walter's like, one that was a creepy fucking scene.
Oh yeah.
And the whole comment that they made earlier about how their grandfather basically was a track star.
Oh yeah, the callback. Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck! I was like, how did I not realize that? Like,
dude, but again, that's just it's such clever writing and such clever like imagery, and again for a low budget film, it makes the most of like all these different intricate things, and then connects them all at the end, and you're like, damn, I missed that.
Because that was the biggest twist for me when when he's trying to escape, and she just goes, "Grandma." I'm like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah.
they're in the bodies."
Yep.
Now it all makes sense.
That's why they had them as help.
Yep.
Couldn't get rid of them.
Yep. I was like, all clicked together. I was like, this, like, honestly, it was a perfectly written movie.
I mean, everybody in this movie is like they play it like extremely well. Like,
yeah.
it makes me cringe. It makes me like want to throw up. Like,
And
I'm
honestly,
like,
when
I'm like,
Kaluuya's character is like
you just
breaking
said
out and
that.
using the antlers,
Yeah.
I was rooting for him. I was like, damn.
Also, do we think that Howie's character, Lil Will Howie,
Loved him.
yeah,
I thought he was funny.
such a good
every
character.
horror movie, every good horror movie has to have some sort of a comedic relief character that sticks
He
around.
said, "You're
even
still
for most
there."
of the end.
It's good.
But
You're still there.
it was so funny because like it was just that best friend where he's like, I told you should have went to that girl's house.
Dumbass.
By the way, this
Or the
song, this
motherfucking
movie was also
TSA.
this movie was also my introduction to the song "Redbone" by Childish Gambino back in the day. So I'll
that's a
always
good
be
song.
thankful to this movie
Yeah.
for that, because that's a
Daylight.
fantastic song. But are you aware that this movie was supposed to end differently?
No.
Yes.
In the
I
original
don't want to
ending,
hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I
don't-
did
you
read
don't wanna
that,
know?
and I honestly thought that was the
Uh,
ending that was going to happen.
Okay. Give it to me, but I'm gonna be upset because I think the ending
all
is
right,
really,
I'm
really
just gonna
good.
read it as straight as I see it. The original ending, and I've seen the original ending. Chris goes through with killing Rose and is arrested by the police. Rod meets him in jail and asks him for information about the Armitage family to investigate, but Chris insists that he has stopped them and everything is fine. Peele intended this ending to reflect the realities of racism. By the time production had begun, however, several high-profile police shootings of black people had made discussion, in Peele's words, more woke.
Oh,
After gauging reception at test screenings, he decided the film needed a happier ending, but felt a moment when the audience believes Chris is about to be arrested would preserve the intended reaction.
Yep.
Which I think is very fair.
It definitely did, because honestly, that's what I thought was happening when the car rolled up.
yeah. I think
Right.
I think the ending is. I like both endings, to be fair, but I think that ending is fine. I think the theatrical release is what it's supposed to be. I'm interested how you've seen the original. Did you just see the scene somewhere?
Yeah, I saw I didn't see the scene where he actually kills Rose, but I've seen the scene of him and Rod talking in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that, and it is very depressing. It is a very different end to the movie, to the point where I definitely think that this movie needed to end the way that it did.
But I you can also make the argument that the movie ending in a depressing way like that. I mean, he's in the middle of nowhere in Vermont, so like, yeah,
I mean, it
that
would have
could
been
happen.
probably a very politically effective, emotional ending.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it would have been a disservice to Rod's character because he was the comedic relief the
Yeah,
entire movie.
Oh, I
And
think
to
that
have
scene makes it the motherfucking TSA, baby.
yeah, that was a perfect
consider
ending
the
with his character.
situation handled.
Yeah.
Such a good quote.
And honestly, the look on
Um,
Rose's face when she realizes that it's not the cops that she was hoping were going to
She's
show
like-
up, like,
she's like, damn.
yeah,
all right, grade this thing.
I'll go ahead. I think I'm gonna be the high man. A plus 50. I think this is around American Beauty for me.
Oh, damn.
They're not the same movies, but similar enjoyment out of the movie, and the writing is similar in terms of the effectiveness and the quality of the writing.
I was in that same ballpark. I was A plus 30.
Nice.
I'm gonna come off as a hater. I couldn't get this to A plus. I got very, very close though. I'm at an A, 96.58.
Mm.
Big fan of it. I just can't quite go A plus. When I do get to my 2017 list, this will probably be in my top 10. Although 2017 was such a stacked year that, maybe it won't, but I would imagine it probably does. All right, let's talk about the follow-up. 2019's Us, again written, directed by Jordan Peele. released March 22nd, 2019, $20 million budget, so bigger but not massive. And it made 256. Stars Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Elizabeth Moss, and Tim Heidecker.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie was extremely anticipated because everyone was so hyped about Get Out. What's
Yep.
Jordan Peele going to do next? And the trailer looked phenomenal. The story's about a family. Adelaide and Gabriel are two leads with the kids, Zora and Jason, and they are attacked by a group of another family.
Clones?
As Jason says, there's a family in our driveway, and it's the tethered versions of themselves. And I remember seeing this in theaters and absolutely falling in love with it. The score being great. Lupita Nyong'o's performance was amazing. I loved the way the movie looked, and I gotta say that it's faded on me a little bit. I still really like the movie, but I don't love it the way that I did in 2019. And I think a lot of that is because if you really want to, you can pick the plot apart pretty easily. Just the whole concept of the tethered and these people in these underground areas that are apparently really easy to get into and out of, yet it doesn't happen very much. But I think that
that part was
this-
lost on me.
this
Honestly, the
movie
whole
is still
concept is lost.
the concept of the movie can be a bit just I'm lost with it, but the performances, the way the movie looks, the music, all that stuff is really what drew me in. Because Lupita Nyong'o, there was a little bit of outrage with her not getting an Oscar nomination from Toni Collette not getting an Oscar nomination the year before, and people like, all right, horror movies, come on, man.
What movie was that?
Toni Collette
they
was
didn't get
Hereditary,
in-
so
Oh, okay.
so we'll get to that in
And then
I
what
think
was
a couple
Lupita?
weeks.
What was Lupita?
Lupita for the movie we're
for
talking
this
about
movie?
right now.
Oh, for
Yeah.
this movie. Oh, my fault.
Yeah.
My fault. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because a lot
I
of
thought
people
it was
thought
like
that she was.
She got snubbed for like another movie or something. I
No,
got
people
lost. I
thought
got
that she was Oscar worthy for this, and I don't know if I agree because 2019 again such a stacked year, but
you. Mhm.
I'd be hard pressed to find better performances because she does such a great
She
job
makes the
in
movie.
both roles. She does.
She
Although
makes the
I think
movie is
Winston
what she
Duke's
does.
really good here too. I think he gets overlooked a lot.
Yeah, no, I think he's good as both characters, which has to be interesting, like playing a version of yourself and fighting a version of yourself on screen. That has to be a little jarring and odd. Yeah, I don't know.
His
Honestly,
character.
the whole concept is odd. My thing at the bottom, guys, where we type in sometimes how we feel, that is based off of this movie. After I watched it, I was like, WTF? Like, what did I just watch? Because I like it. I just the concept. It never got there for me. I guess is my point. I don't dislike the movie. I'm probably still going to give it 4 stars, maybe a B plus. What I'm trying to say is I like the movie more for like the music, imagery, acting than like the actual horror concept of the movie. Because I think I was lost on the horror concept of the movie. Like I get what was going on. I just it never got there for me. I guess is my point. And then you add the other families in, like you add the other family, and then it's like okay, like, and then you add like Mitchell was saying, like all these easy places to get out of, and it's like there's more people from the tethered, and it's like okay, so what are we doing here? It's like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, the first act was probably the best part of the movie
Yeah,
because you had all that mystery.
at the boardwalk was the best like part when she goes in the funhouse and she like looks in the mirror and her like face. I'm like and like they probably sold the trailer on that too. They were like let's let's sell this. But yeah, I'm with you. The first part of the movie's good. First act's good.
Yeah, because for me, like that part, but also when the family first shows up at the house,
Yeah, also good.
and it had me yelling at Winston Duke's character, like how laid back the dad was. Like, oh,
Don't
they
just
must just
grab
be
the bat,
walking
dude.
around. But he goes
Call the
outside like all
police.
calmly. I'm like, no, if that was me, the house would be on lockdown. Everybody would be locked into a room, weapons ready. Cops have been called. Like, no, we're bunkering down. We're not just walking out and having a chat with them and be like, oh, if I come back out, we're gonna have a problem.
And then
Like,
they just
no,
stab
sir.
people and slice people's knees up. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm like,
I'm like, come on.
What's the deal with these scissors too?
yeah. What's the scissors have to have some connection that's just lost on me.
Um,
They all had these red jumpsuits with these these
Is
gloves
that
and
like a
these
Squid
scissors.
Game reference? I'm trying to think. Like, was it the
Squid
red
Game
jump?
came out after this, so
I know, but I don't know. Like again, Mitchell, the concept of the movie, I
the
can't get there.
the details from apparently the scissors and to the rabbits, it's supposed to represent duality, division, and control.
Okay.
So obviously the scissors, they're the same duality, like two blades of a scissor, they can come together,
Yep,
divide,
they come
control.
together. Yep,
Right.
yep.
Kind of an
Okay.
odd plot device, but effective in a way because
Because you can just stab people with scissors.
slice and
Apparently,
stab people around. But yeah, once they started introducing multiple families, and then all of a sudden you find out that there's just a whole invasion of these things.
that's what I'm saying. The
That's when
invasion.
it just completely became lost because I was like, oh, maybe it's like something to do with Lupita Nyong'o's character. I'm like, I thought it was directly tied to her, and like maybe her being married to the family now, their characters like were infected, but yet no, it's just everybody seems to have a double that's living underground and they've never been found or seen before. Like that just made no sense to me. And I might just have to rewatch it now with more context and kind of hope that it makes more sense. That whole end dialogue where they explain everything that happened.
I thought that
still
this
didn't work for
movie
me.
it was at its best when it was smaller and it was
Yes.
more
Yes.
just like
But that's what I'm
we
saying.
have
That's
this
why I like
we have
the
this
first
Boardwalk.
act, because it's just the family.
we have
beach,
this
the
family in our
house.
house. What the hell do we do about it? Because once you start indicating that this is happening in other places, and like the other
People are just
family, I
getting
thought
stabbed.
I thought the other family was completely useless and had no point and purpose in the movie
Yeah.
whatsoever. But if you just focus on like I thought it was at its best when Lupita Nyong'o was scared shitless that this other person was gonna come for her. That's when the movie
Yeah.
was at its best. That's when Winston Duke was at his most effective, I thought.
It was there for 8 minutes though.
Yeah.
no, believe it or
That's when
not,
they're acting peak.
believe it or not, this movie, if you're there for the tethered, they don't show up for like 40 minutes.
No,
of
no,
this
I'm
movie.
saying
It takes a
the part
minute
that
for
you're-
like for
the
them
part
to
that
show
you're
up.
talking about is like 8 or 10 minutes long. The stretch that you're talking about where her character is scared, they're fighting them, that's like a 15 to 10 minute scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my point. But it does take a while. It takes 40 minutes to get there. To your point.
I love the
So,
way that this movie looks.
Do you hate the pacing? Like that's where I'm like trying to figure it out.
No, I don't hate the pacing. I don't hate anything about this movie. I just think that this movie gets
I was expecting a different movie, to be honest.
it has bigger ambitions than it knows what to do with.
Mm.
And I think
think
that
would
if
have
you're
been-
just going for a movie based off, because when I saw this movie, I was just riding off vibes, and this movie does have some incredible vibes. Again, music is great, performances are great, the looks fantastic, and it ends in a spot with the whole twist of like, was that actually the tethered version of her, and they swapped places from back in the the beginning of the movie, and that's a twist that makes sense. and I liked that. So I was just willing to kind of go with it and overlook a lot of the small details that, looking back and watching the movie another time, divorced from the hype of this is Jordan Peele's second movie, get ready for the greatest thing ever. This movie is like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. Once it's kind of divorced from that, you can look back and go, okay, this is a good movie. It's nothing special. It's got some great stuff to it, but it's a good movie that wanted to be a great movie and just didn't quite have all of the connective tissue to get there, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I think it would have been better if they kept it small for the movie and then had that ending dialogue where Lupita Nyong'o's double basically explains the whole concept, and then they kill the tethered, and then they go to their rich neighbor's house, and that's where they come across the next family of tethered, and that's where you go, oh shit, there's others as well. And then they could have ended it there and possibly done a sequel or just left it as is. But I feel like that would have been a much more dramatic ending to the movie than seeing just a whole group of them out in public doing some sort of weird ritual on the boardwalk.
And I also had very similar complaints with Nope, where I thought that when it tried to get into like stuff with like this weird monkey, and like I thought that when it was more of a story about Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, it worked. Yeah. But when it tried to get so much bigger, that's when it kind of fell off.
Which we've discussed, Mitchell. There's a spin-off movie about the monkey that is good, but it didn't need to be in that movie.
Oh, you're just saying like it could be like
yeah. No,
I thought you were saying like there's actually a movie. I'm like, wait, what?
No. There's a spin-off like version of the monkey in Nope that would be a good movie standalone, but throwing that into Nope, I don't like love that concept. And that's where I'm kind of with the tethered. And I guess that's the connection I'm trying to make here, Mitchell, is I think you're correct. When the movie is smaller and then you don't go to like this larger, bigger scale theme, it's fine. But when you go to this larger, bigger theme, then you like lose me. It's almost like there's a better like standalone movie where there's like an invasion of the tethered. That's like a standalone thing. That is like completely different movie, separated from this movie. Like you call the movie Us, and then you go and like have this like bigger concept, and yeah, I don't love it. Yeah,
it is one that if you were to go back and watch the trailer, that trailer is phenomenal.
That's what I've heard is like the trailer is hype. So
yeah, it's great.
That's what happens. I mean, 28 years later, the trailer is gas. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll grade. I said I was gonna get there close to 4 stars. I don't know if I'm there. B plus, 30.2. I
gave this one an A minus. I like A minus, like 15, 20 in that range. I feel like I might go back and rewatch it just to try and get more understanding as to what they were going for.
The actual tethered, yeah.
And see if that makes it a little higher or lower, because that's obviously a very key part of this movie, and that's definitely lost on all of us.
Fair enough.
I gave it a B plus. Ooh. I gave it a B plus 79.96.
And you had this like as an A originally.
I had it like as an A in like the 50s back in the day.
Yeah.
So, although my grading scale was different back then, but that's about where I would have had it. All right, time for the Evil Dead movies. Evil Dead 2013.
Can we jam these together?
Yeah, also, I think we kind of can.
Quick side note. I almost watched The Evil Dead, and then I realized it was not the same movie, so I quickly pivoted.
That was last year's.
Yeah.
39.
Is that worth watching?
31, not 39. What?
Is that worth watching? The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2?
I don't want to tell you not to watch it because a lot of people really do like these movies. However, they were not for Tommy and I. Yeah, and I thought they got worse as they went on.
So, Evil Dead 2013 version. What do we think?
This
Very
movie,
similar to the original, I would say. Or no, was it Evil Dead 2 where they had the whole group of people in the house, the cabin?
Evil Dead 2
no, I
starts
think it
with
was the
like
first one.
with like the book the monologue about the book. It's like the book of death or whatever. Yeah, that's what Evil Dead 2.
I do not remember. However, I remember being really interested in this movie from the poster. The
Yeah.
poster of this movie. I mean, I don't think it's true. It's it says the most terrifying film you will ever experience.
No,
But between
definitely.
that
Nope.
and the trailer, I was like, oh, so this movie's just gonna be like the goriest shit that I've
Yes.
ever seen. And to be fair, this movie
Kind of is.
goes ham with the gore and the blood and the blood and the
Oh,
gore.
yeah.
This is directed by Fede
And
Alvarez,
the demons. Yeah,
who
goes hard.
This was
also
actually
made don't good.
Yeah, keep going.
This
No,
has
keep
been
going.
labeled as the bloodiest film ever made.
I
The
I
finale-
stand behind that.
The finale alone used over 70,000 gallons of fake blood.
That's so disgusting.
Yeah,
Most of it during the rain part of it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was just gore galore. And
What
I
else did
loved it. It
Fede
was
Alvarez
great.
make?
Don't
that?
breathe.
What else did Fede Alvarez make?
He
Okay,
also
Don't
made
Breathe.
Alien Romulus. So
Yeah,
he
he's
has
got
the
good
sauce.
movies.
Yeah. This stars Jane Levy, Shiloh Fernandez, Lou Taylor Pucci. That can't be his name.
Bruce Campbell's
Jessica
in this movie?
Lucas. No, Bruce Campbell's a producer on this movie.
Okay, I was like,
he
okay.
was not
Sorry.
in the movie.
It says
and
he's
Elizabeth,
in the movie as Ash. So
I guess in a post-credit scene, but
he's in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Watch.
actually watched the end. He literally it's his face that comes on screen. He goes groovy, and then it just
Oh,
that's
fuck.
dumb.
I should have watched.
Yeah,
yeah, it was dumb. It was very dumb.
Yeah, that sounds
Sorry, continue,
stupid.
Mitchell.
So this was the first horror movie that I ever watched because
Wow.
I decided to start in the deep end. This wasn't the first horror movie I saw in theaters.
Mitchell,
But this was
you
a
didn't
movie.
start in the deep end. You jumped in the pool of blood, and you were like the deep end.
Yeah, and I thought, you know what? Because I was so interested by just like this was the horror stuff that I was the most interested in, like before anything else. So it's 5 people go into a cabin in the woods. One of them finds this book, and one of them gets possessed by this demon. And I actually thought that they had a really good reason for like, no, you're detoxing because you're always on crack. So we need to keep you here.
It was definitely a good plot device.
An intervention, you would say, yes.
And unfortunately, to this movie's detriment, there are 5 people that go into the woods, and one of them can act. Because I think that Jane Levy is pretty good in this movie, and luckily for us, she is our lead. She is the most on her shoulders, and you have 4 other people that, to quote NCAA commercials from back in the day, will go professional in something other than sports when it comes to acting. Because I mean, Shiloh Fernandez, I mean, maybe
was
he's
the
a
worst?
nice guy.
Who is the worst out of the 4?
It might be Shiloh
I think I
Fernandez.
have my 2. I think I have my 2 pick for like best. I think Jessica Lucas is like
She's your second best.
Yeah.
See, I think my
didn't really
second best
rate
would
them on
probably
their
be
quality of acting.
Lou Taylor Pucci.
Oh, Eric.
just-
Okay.
After watching the Evil Dead franchise, like trilogy, I really came in with this with low expectations of acting quality.
That is so funny. I gotta watch the other ones then.
So like the first trilogy, like there's some horror to it, but for me it wasn't that scary.
It's the 80s, Tommy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't like scary horror, it was more kind of campy horror.
Yeah.
So going and shifting into this gear, honestly, I think this was a perfect movie for someone who's never watched horror. So I think Mitchell made a very good choice in
Step
starting
on the
with this movie
gas, you know?
because it has elements of it has possession, it has demonic entities, It's got the
It's got
creepy
blood.
location. It's got gore. It's got slasher. Like, it's got all elements of horror mixed into one.
I've never thought about it that way, but you're probably right.
Yeah. And I just thought that the girl going in her demonic voice, "You are all going to die tonight," was such a good hook.
Yes.
And I thought
is
that
a good
everything
hook.
involving her being possessed was the most interesting stuff in the movie. Maybe it's because she can act, but I also thought that, and sometimes I write letterboxd reviews and I go in. Sometimes I write letterboxd reviews and I feel kind of lazy. And sometimes I go, you know what? I think one sentence will tell you everything you need to know. And I think I just said something along the lines of, this movie is mean as shit, complimentary. And this
Yes, you
movie
did.
is mean. This movie is mean as shit. This movie is just like, it does not give a damn. It is brutal. It is harsh. It's an ugly looking movie. So like sometimes I think it tries a little too hard to look like ugly
Bad.
and nasty and dirty. Like the scene where she's getting like violated by the demon. It's very different than the scene, because that scene enough was
Oh, you mean when she was raped by a
similar.
fucking demon?
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
it was similar to
we
the
try
scene
not
from
to
The
say
Evil
it, but it
Dead,
is.
from the first one.
Yeah.
Because the first one, it was a little bit more explicit in that regard.
Dare I say it's a callback?
It is.
There
but it's
definitely were a lot
not.
of callbacks.
The first one is even more explicit in that regard than
Yeah.
this one was. But
So
I think that all the good stuff in this movie has to do with Gore and Mia. And everything
enough.
else, because like the scene where, because these people kill themselves and each other in really, really fucked up, brutal ways,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I was even getting gore fatigue. Like people were doing such awful stuff, and I'm just like, all right, you that's kind of just what you've been doing the whole movie. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know how I'm getting tired
moving?
of like people pulling nails out of their body and stuff, but I've seen this happen about 7 or 8 different times.
The nail gun was an effective weapon in this movie.
To make the
They overused
transition
it, but yes.
They do, yes.
to make a transition to Evil Dead Rise, and what I think does a good job of maybe not
That
going
movie's
a little
better.
overboard.
Yes.
Overboard on the gore and overboard on that type of stuff. I will say, it is also a mean as shit movie.
Yes, it is.
And I
You could
think
have
that's
told
what
me
this
that they were
trilogy needs to
directed
be
by the
about.
same.
I think that's what it needs to be about.
Yes, I agree. I also think that movie has better actors. I think that,
yeah,
and
fair
they
enough.
care more about the characters, because it's about a family, and it's about, really, it's about Lily Sullivan and Alyssa Sutherland, and they're 2 sisters, and they can actually fucking act. I really liked both of them in this movie, especially Alyssa Sutherland. I mean, she just goes off in this thing. And I liked her before she was possessed. I liked her after she was possessed. But I think
You
that
liked her in the middle of the possession.
Yeah, I liked her in the possession, because I felt for her. I felt for her kids. I mean, granted, both of these movies have the similar issue of, hey, doofus, maybe don't read from the book made of human flesh that you have to bleed in order to open.
Oh my god, what an idiot.
Especially the guy in the first movie. Because the second guy, it's like, okay, you're like 14, whatever. The first dude was like 25. Should have known better.
So, I feel like we transitioned to the second one, and we didn't bring up, arguably, hear me out, guys, arguably one of the best opening scenes. And all
for a horror movie, absolutely.
Oh my
I'll get with you. One of the best title introductions
out of the
ever.
lakes. Yeah, she rises out of the lake, and it literally goes, "Evil Dead Rise," like behind her, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that title introduction!" I went back and watched it 3 more times.
It was so on the
I
nose,
stopped and
too.
watched it 3 times.
The Evil Dead is literally rising out of the water.
Yeah. She puts the drone to her face and like flies in the water. She rips the girl scalp off. Which, by the way, guys, I'm your friend. I have much love for you guys. If that is happening to you and you're possessed, I'm not checking you out. I'm fucking leaving. I'm being honest. I'm calling the police. I'm stepping
If my
outside.
bachelor party goes down like that, you're not sticking
I'm
around.
calling the police and I'm stepping outside, and I'm just not dealing with that. Like, why
Mitchell,
did
if
she
that
walk
happens
over?
at your bachelor party, I will lock myself in a room with you with a baseball bat and say, one of us is making out of here alive. Demon, get out of Mitchell right now.
Yeah.
Well, what if
Oh
it's not
my God.
me? What if it's someone else? You know.
It's your bachelor party.
Yeah,
You're
it's
the
your
main
bachelor
character.
party.
It means it's going to happen to you.
I'd
Yeah,
have
that
to
would
be
have
the
to
one that
happen
got
to you.
possessed.
You're
That's
either
fair
going to be the
enough.
first possessed,
I
or you're
mean,
going to find
hear
the
me
fuck.
out. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to go try to help her? I get it. You're trying to be a good friend, but when she starts like talking demonic and then falls over and then starts having like I'm like, she's possessed. It's
Cracking
clear
eggs
she's
and shit.
possessed.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's clear she's possessed. So you gotta let her do her thing. But the crazy thing is, it starts with that scene and then it just jumps to this family in an apartment.
So here's something that I would like to request from the Evil Dead franchise people. Is
Okay. I'll let 'em know.
we've joked before with the whole, you got to have, the renegade priests in every kind of exorcist type movie. And they allude to the fact that there are renegade priests that basically found this book and were trying to uncover what it was.
You want the prequel
through the videos and through the whole fact that he found it in some weird storage crypt thing inside this building in fucking, where is it, Los Angeles. It's like, I want the backstory of, one, how the hell this book made it away from the cabin, wherever the cabin was located. I don't really know if they ever specify where the cabin is in Evil Dead, but how did the book get from point A to B, and what happened during that whole process where the priests were trying to figure out what this book was. We need a television series based on that to give us more context as to how the fuck this girl got possessed in the middle of, I don't even know where the hell they started off.
Some high rise or just
crappy
apartment building.
Even the start of Evil Dead Rise. Where did this take place? How did she get possessed?
Oh no, it told you at the end of the movie. She's in the parking garage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Did you not catch that?
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie is after the events of the movie, basically.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah. It's a great connection. I thought you were gonna say we need a prequel for the priest.
Well, then we need a prequel for the priest, yes, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how did the book get from point A to point B and all that concept?
How did it get to under the parking lot, basically?
I don't know if she kicked that head into the wood chipper or whatever.
In that bank vault or whatever it was.
But that's what I'm saying. But how did it get to the bank
vault?
Get there? Why is it in Los Angeles and not the goddamn Vatican?
Yeah. Fair questions.
I think that both of these movies end with their best. Like, I love the scene with that. Is it like a wood chipper or something in Evil Dead Rise?
I think it's a wood chipper.
They basically just all turn into big chunks of meat that meat for the grinder. And it's dirty, it's disgusting, it's mean, and I absolutely loved it. And then in the 2013 Evil Dead, this is where I was honestly like, do I even like this movie? Shit, I thought my reputation of this movie was this is just a lot of fun and just big gory fun. And I haven't really been having that. And then the last 10-15 minutes of this movie gave me everything that I wanted from this.
They love chainsaws in this franchise.
I remember why I had that that connection with this movie, because once it starts raining blood, that's when Evil Dead 2013 goes, I got you, bitch. And the whole thing just clicks into place for me to the point.
Do the original Evil Deads have chainsaw action in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
that like a theme? Is that like a
yes.
theme of Evil Dead?
Yes.
Just chainsaws?
So this won't spoil any of the movies. Not that there's much to spoil. Anyway,
no, there's nothing to spoil. It's a death
at one point,
Bruce
Campbell's character gets his hand basically cut off, and he attaches the chainsaw and makes a chainsaw arm.
Oh.
Yeah,
And that's
no,
just, like,
I'm here
that's
for
a big
that.
deal.
I'm here for that. Yeah,
It's legendary.
Okay,
And that's
fair.
why when in Evil Dead 2013, when she finds the chainsaw, I was like, fuck yes. The chainsaw is back.
See, I thought it was kind of like a
Rise,
cheap,
when she
like, yeah,
finds it.
okay.
Evil Dead Rise, when she pulls out the chainsaw and she's like, "Only my sister can call me that." Yeah, I was like, "Geez," I was like, "This is nasty work."
I think the creepiest scene, the two creepiest scenes in Evil Dead Rise were
You groupie.
when she's in looking through the peephole at her.
And she's
I don't know
telling the
why
little girl to open.
the peephole scene creeped me out.
Well,
And then the
she's
second
bullying
one,
a little girl. She's like, "Please open it.
yeah,
Give mommy a hug." I'm like, Jesus, this demon gives
it
no
reminded
shits.
me of Hereditary a little bit, just because of the creepy mom factor.
Okay.
And then the scene where the daughter is just like eating the glass
Oh my god, that was nasty.
and basically talking about like not liking things in her tummy to the aunt who obviously was pregnant. Like that was kind of on the nose thing for the whole movie. That whole scene was like freaky as shit.
I'm gonna kill you and your baby. I'm
Again,
like, Christ.
mean. These movies are mean. But Evil Dead Rise had a little bit of a heart to it as well, with the younger daughter and her.
You
and
have the family
aunt.
factor.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that gives this movie a little bit something extra to root for some of these characters to get through, because in Evil Dead 2013, the whole family, everyone in that cabin could get ripped apart by werewolves, and I would be like, cool, awesome. I didn't care about any of you. That's fine. This, I actually cared about some of the people, so it had that edge. You want to go ahead and grade these?
Yeah. Go ahead, Mitchell.
All right. So for Evil Dead 2013, my grade was, let me just make sure I'm not misquoting this. A B, 38.30, which is more or less where I had it in 2014 or 15 or whenever I watched this. Evil Dead Rise, however, I gave an A, and I had this at a 24.57.
Love that. Because I will also be going B 35.5 for Evil Dead Rise. And Mitchell, we're on the same wavelength. A 24.7. Oh, sorry. A 24.7 for Evil Dead Rise, and B 35.5 for Evil Dead.
So we're basically like in the exact same space.
Yeah, I think I might like.
I'm a little
Evil Dead
higher
Rise
on Evil Dead. Yeah.
Right. I might like Evil Dead Rise more than I originally did.
See, I think it went down just a little bit for me, but not by much.
I think I gave it like an A- originally. So I like this movie.
It is a good one.
It says Primal Battle for Survival. That is correct.
That's pretty much what all the Evil Dead movies are. I gave Evil Dead a B- 90, and I gave Evil Dead Rise an A 15. Evil Dead Rise was definitely the superior movie of the whole franchise. I mean,
honestly,
hands down.
It makes me like want to see them make another one.
I might go back. I'm curious to see if they will, because I mean they obviously waited 10 years after Evil Dead to make another one, but with the success of that, I would not be surprised if they don't make another movie.
They are making another Evil Dead.
Oh, they are?
I think it's actually coming out.
Is it a continuation?
It is called Evil Dead Burn, and it comes out in July of next year.
Do you know like the plot?
I don't think that it has any of the same people. None of the same. The director's different.
Bruce Campbell's in it. So.
No, he's not.
No. He'll be in it somehow because he's in both of these.
Yeah,
Here-
but
here's
like
my
as the
prediction.
guy waving
They're
his
gonna
dick in the
find a way-
post-credit scene, like
Right.
They're gonna find a way to burn the book.
Oh, okay.
That's my guess.
the person that is in the lead in this is she's in Dune 2. She was Zendaya's friend in the why am I blanking on their name?
I'm
In
like
the,
thrown off. I'm like Princess Irulan. I'm like, what are you?
In the Fremen. She was Zendaya's friend in the Fremen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was like her like that was a little bit weary of Timothy Chalamet at first, but then grew to like him, and then she died. So yeah, Sohila Jakob. So really good in that movie. So hopefully this is a good vehicle for her and continues to be another Evil Dead movie that we like more than the original trilogy. Unfortunately, I really
Interesting.
wanted to like those movies last year. I fought and I tried to find every avenue I could. I just had to realize that they are not made for me, and sometimes that's just
It's
the way
just
it is.
crazy that people.
People like I've heard Evil
People
Dead
love it.
2, like people being like that is my favorite movie of all time from multiple people.
What?
So yeah, exactly.
I've got to
They're-
watch
they're-
these movies
they're
now.
cult
What am I
classics.
doing? Gotta watch
They're
these
cult
movies.
classics. I might go back.
I
and
don't
watch
even know
them
if they're
again.
cult classics. They're just classics that
they
we
are.
just don't
They're-
like.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, episode 3 coming up next. That's going to be Barbarian, The Witch, The Black Phone, Ready or Not, It Follows, and Mama. So,
Mama.
I knew you were going to do that. Not even surprised that you did that. I knew it was coming.
I'm a
So
Queen
be
fan.
on the
What
lookout
can
for
you say?
that next week, and talk to you soon.